Welcome back, everybody, to the Minnesota Twins franchise here on MLB The Show 18. We get some interleague action today with the Twins and Brewers meeting up. We have the Twins currently in first place here in the American League Central at 50-27, one of the best records in all the majors. Right now, we're only a few episodes away from the All-Star break, and I expect us to have a lot to talk about when that episode finally hits. But today, we head to Milwaukee and hope to continue our winning ways. We had Steven Gonzalves take the mound in this matchup. He's a player I've really wanted to see more of. So far this season, he's made 4 starts and they haven't gone too well. We'll talk more about him soon, but Josh Vasquez on the mound for Milwaukee posted some impressive numbers, but the run support definitely isn't there if he's only 7-7 with that ERA. Opening the game with Charlie Blackmon leading off. Here's a curveball from Vasquez right on the outside corner. How about that for a start? Then Josh Harrison 0-2, waving at one in the dirt. With the lighting in this first inning, it was pretty tough to see. Vasquez starts strong and we turn it over to Steven Gonzalves, making his 5th start on the season. He hasn't been great so far, but I want to remain patient. Here's a chopper to the left side, barehanded by Miguel Sano, and a good throw to get the first out. Then Eric Thames, their 3-hitter. Remember, I almost considered trading for Thames last year. Gonsalves gets him off balance here with the knuckle curve. And the 2-2 fastball gets him waving upstairs. Good first inning for Gonsalves. Top of the second for Minnesota, Eduardo Escobar gets the start, and he lines a ball into left center field for a base hit. The game said maybe I shouldn't play him in this game, but take that, he's on first base. Now Mitch Garver, who currently finds himself actually 3rd place in the AL Rookie of the Year voting. This might help, a liner into center, another hit. He's hitting near 300. It's getting harder and harder to not make him the everyday catcher. Quentin Berry also gets the start in this game as he takes a fastball low. Then a liner over third base and into left field to load the bases with nobody out here in the second inning. Byron Buxton with the bases loaded opportunity. 1-2 on the ground sharply. 4-6-3 to double up Byron Buxton. This happens very rarely, and what a time for it to occur. A run still scores, and that brings up Gonsalves. So you might think the scoring threat is over, but Vasquez can't find the zone, so Gonsalves gets a walk for Charlie Blackmon, who lines another one into center field. 4 hits in the inning for Minnesota, and they take a 2-0 lead. Bottom 2 for Gonsalves facing Travis Shaw. 2-2, left over the middle, belted to center. Shaw takes Gonsalves out of here for a solo home run. With these lower rated pitchers, the smallest mistakes can lead to big home runs like that. And those home runs are going to happen from time to time, but you've got to find a way to bounce back. Steven Gonsalves now to face Ryan Braun, who hit much better in May than in June. Here it's a 1-2 count, Gonsalves just off the plate. 2-2, this ball lined into left to hit for Ryan Braun. And then Domingo Santana to the plate, batting 121 on the season as Braun takes off, and Garver's arm is not very strong, so Braun steals second with ease. Followed by Santana deep to left field. Domingo Santana gives the Brewers the lead with their 2nd homer of the inning. So not only does Gonsalves give up 2 long balls, but he gives up 1 to a player who has struggled all season long. There goes that 2-0 lead we had just put together. These first 2 innings couldn't have been any more different. Here it is one more time, a clean swing by Santana, 381 feet. Both of these home runs were pretty well hit. Same inning, Gonsalves finding himself behind in the count here against Arcia. 3-0, walking him on 4 pitches. I was hoping for some resiliency, and we didn't find much of it in this 2nd inning. Thankfully, a pop-up in the shallow center gives us a chance to close the inning as the catch is made by Harrison, but now there's work to do as we find ourselves trailing again. Top 3, full count here to Miguel Sano, who beats the shift going through the right side of the infield. Every inning the light changes as well, so it got much easier to see as we advanced. Garver with a base hit into right. Again, the Twins get 2 aboard. And Vasquez already has the pitch count soaring up to around 60 in just the 3rd inning. Quentin Berry with his 2nd hit loads the bases. The Twins do it in back-to-back innings for Byron Buxton. But now there are 2 down. And Buxton hits one on the ground. Good play by Thames. The flip to Vasquez to save a run. And Milwaukee gets out of another bases-loaded jam. Could Gonsalves put together a better 3rd inning? Well, it didn't start too well with a walk to Eric Thames. Then it's Travis Shaw who homered in the previous inning. 1-2, the slider from Gonsalves. There's the punch out. He can get a lot of strikeouts when he's on his game. There's another swinging strike. And a full count with a circle change. That gets the backwards K to end the inning. Better work that time for Gonsalves. Top of the 4th, he gets the hit. A full count. Steven Gonsalves draws his 2nd walk of the day. A runner aboard for Josh Harrison. He gets a pitch right over the middle, driven to left center. This ball gets cut off, but Gonsalves rounds 2nd. He's on to 3rd base, and Harrison is in with the double. And they want no piece of Paul Goldschmidt right after that. They'll load the bases and try to get out of their 3rd straight bases-loaded jam. This time it's Miguel Sano with the opportunity. 1-2 from Vasquez, almost gets strike 3. Sano works the count full and drives a pitch high in the air towards center field. Back goes Gutierrez. It's a grand slam. The Twins retake the lead in a big way. Finally, we made something happen. We couldn't waste 3 of those in a row. Sano got a great pitch to hit and didn't waste it. Here it is one more time. Vasquez just gave us way too much over the heart of the plate. Everyone was able to get something they liked. And Sano gets the Twins 4 on the board. It's now 6-3 as we keep Gonsalves in the game. But unfortunately, the accuracy just didn't get to a better level. Another walk here for Gonsalves, and I knew it was time to take him out of the game after only 3 1/3 innings. It just wasn't the outing I was hoping for, so we call on our bullpen that has performed pretty well this season. Tyler Duffy into the game. 1-2 count here, and he gets Lewis Brinson to strike out looking. He actually had pinch hit for Vasquez as they also took their pitcher out of the game. We then end the 4th pretty cleanly, and each team is forced to rely on their bullpen. Tommy Milone enters for Milwaukee, 3.07 ERA and dominant versus lefties after Vasquez only goes 4 innings with 10 hits and 6 runs allowed. Milone goes right after Byron Buxton and gets strike 3 looking. Buxton cannot believe it. Bottom 5, Duffy stays in the game as Gutierrez gets a hold of one. A drive to deep right, it's out of here, bouncing off the top of the wall, making it 6-4 Minnesota. Both teams taking advantage of the pitcher's mistakes. We'll stay in the bottom of the 5th inning. There's a good strikeout at least for Duffy as Thames waves at that curve. Top of the 6th for Minnesota, a runner on first as Goldschmidt bounces into a 6-4-3 double play. Bottom 6, the Twins turn to Fernando Abad as this pitch gets away from Garver, allowing the base runner to move up. 2-2. Here's Arcia striking out. That's the circle change. Milwaukee goes to their bench to follow. John Ryan Murphy, the ex-Twin, enters the game as a pinch hitter. Grounded to first and past Goldschmidt. Here's Blackman who comes up throwing, and the throw pulls Garver away from the dish, and Milwaukee makes it just a 1-run game. Abad still trying to close down the inning. This is VR with a drive to right at Charlie Blackman. That ball is caught, but it didn't seem like the offenses were going to be quieting down. Top 7, here's Miguel Sano with a pitch over the middle. This one has a chance to go, but it won't. Off the wall, bouncing back towards center field. Sano in at second with the double. 2 batters later, the red-hot Mitch Garver with a drive to left center. That's extra bases. Sano gets home, and Garver is in with another extra base hit. 7-5. Now we go to Byron Buxton, who hasn't really joined the fun on offense today. 3-1 count to Buxton. This ball lined in center, down for a hit, and here comes Garver. On his way home, an RBI single for Buxton. 8-5 Minnesota. But was that going to be enough of a cushion? Buddy Boshears in the 7th gives up a pair of hits, and it looks like the Brewers have another scoring chance. We bring in Jake Reed, our setup pitcher. He's been so good in his short career as a Twin. Quickly he gets ahead of Domingo Santana. 0-2, line toward right and down. It's a hit, and here comes the runner. Relay throw home, not in time. The Brewers get another run. And that's where Jake Reed lost all of his confidence. All it took was one hit. We had to try and settle the young pitcher down, so we had a mound visit. And the very next pitch, 2-0, line back up the middle. It gets through, and here comes another runner to the plate. Buxton's throw, not in time. 8-7 Twins. We need to go to our third pitcher of the inning, Trevor May. Can he finally end things? 2-0 here, and Arcia into left, hauled in. Back to a one-run game as the Twins hit again in the 8th. Going the other way with it, Charlie Blackmon to left field. He's on to second easily. There's a leadoff double, followed by Paul Goldschmidt. You left it up, and Goldie smashes it to deep right. Get out of here! Home run number 26. He's on pace for the MVP, maybe even the Triple Crown. What a fantastic season for Paul Goldschmidt. But the Brewers say they're not done. Here's one belted to deep center, but it stays in the park at last. Top 9 Minnesota, 2-1 here to Garver, who turns on one. What a clean swing as he blasts off another home run. 11-7 Twins. One of the most action-packed episodes we've ever had in this series. The back-and-forth nature made it such a fun game to go through, but eventually we were just too much for Milwaukee. With 2 out in the 9th, a lazy fly for Byron Buxton to end one of the most entertaining games of the season. Twins win again, number 51 on the year. The offense struck early and often in this game as we scored in 5 of our innings, and they did as well. 16 hits to their 11, plenty of multi-hit performances as well, including Mitch Garver going 4 for 5. That made it 5 wins in a row for the Twins as we get a trade offer from the Texas Rangers. They wanted to acquire Fernando Romero for outfielder Jurickson Profar. Normally the trade offers I get aren't even worth considering or thinking about, but Jurickson Profar is a player I'd actually have a lot of interest in acquiring. He's a good defender that can play just about anywhere. We could use another utility player, and he's only 26. But Fernando Romero is 24. He plays a more premier position with, I think, a higher ceiling. I didn't want to trade away Fernando Romero, but I think that we can consider trading some of our pitcher prospects, especially after acquiring Vernon Ozuna and Fernando Campos in this most recent draft. So we have a lot of depth in the organization. So I thought, what about Cole Stewart? Well, they had a lot less interest in Stewart versus Romero. I had them suggest more trades, and they wanted Ty Gonzalez or Nelson Cruz, Luis Sardinas, and Zach Granite. Well, that wasn't going to happen, especially once I found out that Profar was in the last year of his contract, and if I want him bad enough, we can sign him after this season is over. And I'll definitely have interest in doing that. We end up sweeping the Milwaukee Brewers and get our 6th victory in a row as Maxwell Fowler gets the W in this game. And as we keep on winning, we defeat the Houston Astros, with Yadier Alvarez improving to 7-3 on the year. The prospect I wanted to focus on today is Daniel Palca. He spent some time at the majors in this series, and he is a powerful lefty bat. He's 27 years old with 90 power versus righties, still has some pop versus lefties. He is really the only home run hitter right now down at AAA. With 2 aboard here in the first inning, what does he do? How about going to left center against the lefty to put 3 on the board? We have liftoff from Daniel Palca, 3-0 Rochester. At this point in his career, Daniel Palca is 27, a very good power hitter, an average fielder who plays all 3 outfield spots plus first base. And I know there are some of you that would like to see him up at the majors, especially after watching him hit 2 3-run home runs in the first 2 innings of this game. I wasn't expecting that, especially against the lefty, but that's what Palca's all about. We saw a little bit of that last year at the majors, but unfortunately his year was pretty up and down, and then had a terrible spring training that could not get him on the major league roster. I could see him emerging as a DH on our roster, but there's so much competition at that spot. Where he does get an edge is at least being an average fielding outfielder. So maybe eventually he does become a starter. We have had some outfield problems in this series. Byron Buxton is currently hitting only around 200. Eddie Rosario is hurt. Meanwhile, we have Quentin Berry and Zach Granite actually doing a really good job at the moment. And we know Charlie Blackmon is not an issue in right field. I'm actually considering calling up Palca and sending down Buxton for a stint to see if Buxton can start hitting the ball a little bit better. The main reason I haven't is so that we have some balance in our lineup. We already have a lot of power, and I wanted to keep some speed up there, but maybe there is room to bring up Palca for at least a little bit, and hope that Buxton can develop a little more at AAA with his hitting. Between Palca, Zach Granite, and Quentin Berry, we do need to figure out if any of those players can be long-term starters on this team. And it's going to be either Palca or Granite that has that potential. Berry's a little bit older right now, so I don't think he'll be that player. Then we'll see what happens when Rosario comes back from his injury. Next time in the Twins franchise, we're going to have Dallas Keuchel face his former team in Houston. That should be a lot of fun. Keuchel is 11-2 at the moment, leading the Cy Young voting in the American League. Paul Goldschmidt, meanwhile, 26 home runs, 20 for Nelson Cruz. Those two have just transformed this lineup entirely. For my next recording, I do think I'm going to play everything on Hall of Fame difficulty. I do that for pitching, fielding, and everything but hitting. So I've been hitting on All-Star, and I think I've finally gotten to the point where I'm good enough to move up a level. Because it feels like I'm hitting a home run every game with Goldschmidt, and I like that, but maybe we have to crank up the difficulty a little bit more. Hope you're all enjoying the Twins franchise lately. I've really enjoyed the episodes that I've been posting recently. We are going to make a couple roster moves to end this episode, sending Ty Gonzales up to AAA and Willie Ordonez down to AA. No final decision yet on what I'll do with Byron Buxton in the short term, but there's a chance that I send him down for at least a little bit of time. We're also bringing up Chuck Bearden to AAA to help out with outfield depth. That's it for today, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please smash that like button if you did. You can subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications so you can be among the first to watch the next episode once it is posted. Leave your feedback down below on what you thought about today's episode, and I'll see you all soon. Have a great day.